Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm used to the Saturday shows too much. Good afternoon. It's another edition of Harness News Live with your boy Trey Colbeck here. Special Friday edition here, where we're going to talk a lot about Manitoba Harness Racing as they have their finale at the mini meet in Miami Fair tomorrow on Saturday. I have an interview with President of Manitoba Standardbred Racing Industry, Trevor Williams, as well. I'll go through all my picks for the last card of Miami Fair. But before that, I do have a quick preview of the Adios Finals, which actually goes down as well tomorrow. It goes down pretty early tomorrow, so I thought I'd fit it into today's show. We'll still have tomorrow's regular show where we'll talk about Hamiltonian eliminations, a bunch of other Sire Stakes action as well. Kind of a more normal show, but today we'll lead off with the Adios Finals. But before that, today's episode is sponsored by HarnessBid, which is a game changer in the standardbred and harness racing blood stock industry, providing buyers and sellers with easy-to-use online platform that offers global reach, unparalleled transparency, and convenience for its customers. With zero commission on any horse sold, buyers can purchase horses with the confidence they're getting the greatest value for their money, while at the same time, sellers can list their horses without worrying about commission fees eating into those profits. For more information and to get started, visit harnessbid.com. So first, we'll kick off with the Adios Finals at the Meadows tomorrow. Post time at the Meadows is 11:45 a.m. Eastern time. That's why I'm putting this on today's show. While the Adios doesn't go till race 15, which is estimated to go at 4:39 p.m. Eastern time, according to the U.S. Trot website. But here is the field of 9. Starting from the inside, Flight Craft will team up with Mike Wilder. The 2, Irvin Hanover, gets the 2-hole run with Ronnie Wren Jr. It's My Show that gets the 3-hole, 7 for 7. The winner of the North America Cup. Won the elimination, broke a record as well, track record on that, which was his 1:47.4 in the elimination, is now the fastest time for a 3-year-old harness racing Pacers at the Meadow. So congratulations there. Looking speedy. Like I said, perfect 7 for 7. The only loss that he has on his racing records this year when he finished second in the qualifier. So I don't know. Other than that, he has been pretty perfect, likes the front end. And I expect we'll see that tomorrow. But one horse that will try to cause some problems is the 4 Cannibal with Yannick Gingras. Won the other elimination, not too much slower, 148 and 2, which is a fifth win of the year, fifth win in 6 starts. The only, oopsie he's had was in the Meadowland Pace where he finished sixth. Other than that, pretty consistent this year. The 5, Redwood Hanover with James McDonald. 6 is Bamboozler with Chris Page. The 7, Seven Colors with Dave Pallone. 8, Ken Hanover, Dave Miller. And then 9, Fulton, Dexter Dunn. So the full field of 9 again goes around 4:39 Eastern time. This is who I like. I'm going to take It's My Show. Real hard to go against this horse. Probably not going to get much of a price on it. Big day, though. You never know. It's My Show. 7 straight wins to kick off the year. Didn't even win last year as a 2-year-old in 8 starts. Crazy to think that now this horse is running almost, well, pretty much perfect, other than that qualifier that I mentioned. So perfect. It's My Show looking to make it 8-8. But the horse I'm going to like for second, and the one that probably gives the best chance, if you want to call a 5-2 morning line an upset, would be Cannibal. Again, pretty perfect. Just one oopsie in the Meadowland Pace. Bounced back really well in the Adios eliminations last week. Crazy thing about that, if you look at the betting lines, if you have the program available, it's charted that his closing quarter was still 26 seconds in that 6th place in the Meadowlands Pace. So this horse still has some pretty dang quick closing speed. So if he can get positioned better than It's My Show, we'll definitely see that. But I think Zeron and Gingras will be the 2 to beat in this one with their entries. Pretty open for third. It could go a lot of different ways here. I'm gonna go with James McDonald's and Redwood Hanover the 5. So I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5. Finished second in the eliminations. Just behind Cannibal. Was looking pretty good there. Did have a bad start in the North America Cup. Did have a little finished 10th. Had some braking issues and didn't look too good there. But other than that, has been pretty consistent. Finished third in the eliminations for the North America Cup. Has had some time off since that. So, this horse might be back kind of looking at top shape. Has 4 wins this year in 8 starts. So before, the not great start in the North America Cup, has been pretty consistent around the front end. So again, I'm going to go 3, 4, 5 in the Adios. Few races earlier, I believe it is race 11 on the card. We have the Adio Vola, $114,000 up for grabs in this one for the 3-year-old filly pace. Starting from the inside C, it's for Cookie. 2, Vivian's Dream with Mike Wilder. The 3, Square Deal with James McDonald. 4, Always Be Naughty, Dexter Dunn. 5, Daffled Hanover, Dave Miller. 6, Odds On Hail Mary, Dave Pallone. 7, Butterfingers with Aaron Mermian. 8, Hungry Lizzo with Chris Page. The 9, Strong Poison with Yannick. And a 10, Hello, Yes, Hi. So 10 will go in this one. This estimated post time is closer to 3:15 Eastern time. Race 11. In this one, this one's a kind of interesting one. The favorite comes in at 4-1, the morning line favorite, and that's Always Be Naughty with Dexter Dunn. One last time out, 151 and 1. Pretty consistent closing quarter times. Has a 2-win race win streak coming into this one. So I guess I'll take Always Be Naughty. Hard to kind of go against that one. I do like the outside though. Strong Poison had had a third last time out a couple weeks ago at the Meadowlands. Before that, had a win at Hoosier Park, I believe. 26 and 3 closing quarter there. 148 flat time. Followed that up with a 149 at 2 at the Meadowlands. Pretty speedy filly there. So I like 4, 9. And then I guess I will go with the rail horse. C is for Cookie. I had to qualify last time. 153 at a qualifier is not too bad. The race before that led, had a big win there. 150 at Pocono Downs. Like the rail, Scott Zeron climbs aboard. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Scott Scotty Zeron get the sweep of this race with the Adios because he's got It's My Show. So I'm going to go 4-9-1 here in race 11. The Adio Vola for Philly Pacers. And that, we're going to take that's my wrap up there of those two races. Now we're going to bring in Trevor Williams, president of Manitoba Standardbred Racing Industry. All right, now we're joined by Trevor Williams, president of MSRI and leading trainer right now in Miami Fair to discuss some things going on in Miami and hopefully the Loop. But that's what we're going to kick off with first. The Loop. Any interesting fact? Anything you want to tell people about it? And is August 5 still the day?
August 5 is still the date. Yes, we just had a final inspection done of the racetrack and the barn area and everything, and everything went very well. So we're happy to say that the work we've put in over the last number of years is about to pay off. So August 5th, opening day at the Loop.
Well, yeah, it's been a long process for this. I don't even know if I was born the last time harness racing was in Winnipeg. If I was probably your kid's age or my kid's age, if not younger. You must have been only like 5 or 6. How crazy is that going to be back in Winnipeg?
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. Like you said, ever since I've been a kid, I've wanted this. I remember a little bit of the Assiniboia Downs racing, when I was younger. I'll definitely hear all the stories about it, but I only got really hands-on into the game and hands-on into the industry side of things, in the last 5 years or so. So I know how much work my predecessors put in, and I know how much work we've all put in, and the countless hours that the MSRI board has spent on this project. Obviously with Garth as well and the Red River X board, it's been what feels like 100 years, but we're finally going to be off and running. So yeah, that peeking over the fence in the backstretch as the first race goes to the gate is going to be definitely something to remember.
That's awesome. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. And when you get the big city attached to it, it should get more eyes. People are like, "What the heck's Miami Fair?" When we were on simulcast, and now the Loops is probably still going to scratch some heads, but I'm sure everyone knows that's Winnipeg. But to Miami, you got the last day of the Miami meet on Saturday, the 3-day mini meet, Fan Appreciation Day. So what does that all entail, and what can the fans that show up expect?
Well, we just want to say thank you not only to the fans but to Miami Egg Society for hosting us over the last number of years. As you're aware, we were supposed to be in Winnipeg last year, so Miami stepped up and allowed us to race there 10 days, keep the horse population going and the horsemen racing, and they did the same thing this year. We were supposed to start a little bit earlier, and they've kind of stepped in and given us races for the first few weeks here. So we hope for a large crowd. We're not charging at the gate. People are getting free programs. We got burgers on the grill, and we got you and my dad up there making picks and winning money for everyone. So we hope 10 action-packed races. We hope for a big crowd.
Yeah, 10 races. Some pick threes were added, which I would like to see. You got the normal daily doubles and the pick four. Should have a lot of betting options there. It's been kind of quick, but how do you think the 3 days have went? Has been in a nice little, or the 2 days so far at Miami, a nice little preseason before kicking off in Winnipeg? In your opinion, how has the industry been so far this year in Manitoba?
I think it's good. I think a lot of people have used it as tighteners, getting their horses ready for that Winnipeg meet. It's always good to get the 3-year-olds some experience and races before jumping into stakes season. So in that aspect, things have been really good. We've had decent turnout for as far as horsemen and horses and filling races. The crowds haven't been as big as we would have liked them. I know there's a lot of other community events going on the last 2 weeks. So like I said, I think I could be reaching here, but I hope for a big crowd. There's not a lot going on in the surrounding areas. I see a lot of advertising online right now, and I think it's been good, but I think this weekend is going to be better.
Yeah, perfect. And in general, the track itself has been looking great. I know there was some concern early on because they had some rodeos out there, and the transition from that to racing. But the track itself, and we have Dave out there and Ralph out there all the time. And we're kind of going to your trainer side. You have a horse that, with a second off the track record, gets a shot at it again. How do you think his chances are going to be to hit 156 and 1?
It's hard to say. I guess it all depends on the race goes.
Your sound kind of cut out there, Trevor.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay. It's really hard to say. I guess it depends how the race unfolds. He's a very nice animal. So he was, brought here off a little bit of a rest. He kind of, he tailed off a little bit at the end of California meet this winter and wasn't racing as well, getting beat by some pretty cheap horses. So the rest was needed. He's trained back really good and he's really strong right now. So I don't expect him to be a mainstay in Manitoba by any means, but we'll see what happens this weekend. I do think he's got a shot at the time, but I don't think that's going to be our main focus this week anyway.
That's fine. I just want to call one more track record breaker before I ride off in the sunset. But 10 races, like we said, it's only like 5. I think there's all 5 horses, maybe 1 6-horse field, but it's a tough time to handicap. Whoever's their secretary, does a pretty good job of throwing these horses together. I have a tough time. It's a lot of coin flips. So do you even find that too as a trainer where you're like, oh, maybe you have the morning line odd favorite, or you might not have the favorite, but like, who's really going to win this? Is it really tough to think it out? It
is tough. I think so. Ian Fleming's our race secretary. He's done a great job this year with the limited number of horses at the start of the season. There's not a whole lot he can do. 5-horse fields obviously aren't the greatest for the betting public. It's great for horsemen. It spreads the money around to everyone. Everyone's getting a piece of the pie and able to earn a little bit of money before going into the Winnipeg meet. So in that sense, it's good. But yeah, still from a bettor's perspective, the races are difficult. There was, at least a handful of races last week that were, changed in the final 10, 15 feet of the race that, someone was leading and gave up the lead late. So that's usually an indication of a race secretary doing their job. And I think we see, at least, 7, 8 races this week where I think that'll be the case again.
I don't think I had so many at the wire finishes I've called in one day since last week. And oh my God, it was tough. Yeah. And I think I got them all right. So I'll take credit for that.
That's good.
But yeah, speaking of your season, 2 days in, you're leading just a couple minor training categories, wins, earnings, and UDRS. I mean, that's nothing to brag about, right? So, but it hasn't been easy, to be honest. It's probably one of your lesser talented stables, or jumping off the page talented stables as past years, but you're finding ways to win. How does that happen?
Yeah, it's funny. We said that, joking around with other horsemen and people I was training down with this spring, that this was kind of, it was my weakest stable going into the summer for sure, that I can remember in recent years. So I didn't really know how it would go, but yeah, the horses have really come together. We have some surprises. That 3-year-old last week, that Irish Luke, kind of jumped off the screen and came home in 28 seconds and really surprised us. And the claimers are really performing. Our open mare, I Will Do It, hasn't been beat yet. So, sometimes I guess the class of the horse doesn't really matter. They can get hot at the right time. They can, they can win races if they're in the right classes. And we're just having fun with it right now. We don't know how long it'll last, but it's been a great start for sure.
I've learned never listen to Mike about his horses, because he said Irish Luke would never win, and I said I took him and he won, right? So I knew some Mike didn't. But yeah, speak about your driver Blake. He's having a good year himself. I think he's got a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more wins than you do as a trainer. But we're having good talent everywhere. Mitch Ray and Dean Ray are tied for second, I think. We got a bunch of guys right around there. Going into Winnipeg, we see it in Calgary. We see a bunch of guys like Campbell, Sobey, Hennessy, and same with Ontario. Got all these guys. It's hard to see who's the number one. How important is it to have talented trainers and talented drivers heading into the big market of Winnipeg?
Yeah, it's very important. Like any sport, I think your fans are going to follow a lot of the top tier guys. I know in Alberta, like you said, those names, people come out to watch them and bet on them. It's the same thing as the top end horses. They want to see your fast open horses. They want to see high speed. And if you want to create a following like that, then you need to have those people. So it's very important right now. Blake's riding a really big high and he's driving great. But we definitely need more horsemen here, and that's the goal in Winnipeg is to grow that, to end up getting top end drivers and top end trainers here, and grow the sport a little bit in Manitoba.
Perfect. Put a pin in that. I got a question later that could tie into that, so remember that. But
Yep.
we also got some young guys. We got Maddie Howlett, Aiden Taggart. Paul is still pretty, it's young too. We got all these young people. We do have some future to look forward to, though, right?
We do, yeah, and that's important to see when you don't have anyone coming up through the ranks. It gets a little bit scary. So I'm very happy to see some of those guys get licensed. I think Paula actually just became a B driver recently, so hopefully we'll see her in the bike a little bit more. Yeah, I think the plan is for Aiden to get his license, driver's license, when he's able to as well, and yeah, it's great to see all those guys come up.
Perfect. Then simulcast will be back when we hit the loop, right? We'll be online, able to bet and everything. So how important do you think the first few days to really give a good impression for the betting public? As horse racing, the horse racing Twitter community or X community, whatever it's called now, is a harsh bunch to get on your side. So how important is it the loop to really kick off strong?
It's very important, and we definitely have thick skin here in Manitoba. We've been kicked in the guts a lot, but we persevere, and I think the Red River X and the loop has to be kind of that way too. Obviously, to say things have gone smoothly would be a lie. We, like anything, I guess it takes some time. We're a few years into this, and hopefully the trials and tribulations are done and we can get right into it. But like you say, lots of eyes are going to be on it in the first few weeks. We'd like to still call that test phase, but we don't want it to be a complete test phase. So we want to still put on a good show, have a good product, and I think the Red River X is prepared for that. There is Cujo Entertainment doing the broadcast, and we hope for a pretty good show.
Good stuff. And yeah, last question I got for you here kind of ties into what you were saying earlier, going to Winnipeg, looking for some new drivers and trainers. I'm going to have a lot more free time on my hands on Saturdays, as you know. What do you think I should do? You think I should go for my training license, driver license? Should I go be a judge? What do you think Mr. Manitoba should do?
If you want to maybe come to the barn this week, we can start you on some stalls.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm taking a couple of races off to let the new announcer try his luck. So maybe I could come and do some of that.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be good to get some sort of media race or something going. Have you ever been on a jogger?
No, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I've been hit and miss about it.
Yeah.
I've seen you almost. I've seen too many accidents.
Yeah.
But
we'll get you on one.
I could do it. I just don't. If I'm going to start winning too much, then I don't want that cause any problems.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for your time, Trevor. Best of luck this week and for the rest of the season, man.
No, thank you very much. And Trey, we really appreciate all the effort you put into the industry and all the hours you put in. So hopefully you keep doing that for us. We appreciate it.
Always, man. It's Mr. Manitoba for life. Can't take that from me, man.
You bet, buddy. Okay. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, what a great chat there with Trevor. Now we'll move on. I'll throw my picks here for finale day at Miami Fair. Unfortunately, no live stream, no simulcasting, but like Trevor said, the loop will be. So, these are important races that, you'll see on the program if you're checking out the racing at the loop next weekend. So a bunch of 10 races, some interesting new pick threes were added, of pick four that we've had for the last year or two. Opening in early and late daily doubles, and of course, Win Place Show, Exactor Triactor betting all day, free program, free entry. Hard to get any better than that. So up first, we'll look at race one, some non-winners of 2, Fillies and Mares 3, Lifetime. Some other conditions mixed in there, but pretty good field here. That's the thing. There's a lot of 5-horse fields tomorrow, but they're really tough to pick. So in this one, I'm going to go with the first is Blackjack Charlie with Corey Manning. The 2 is B Special. Daryl Mason jumps aboard. 3, Fallout Girl with Mark Fillion. 4, Prince Shadow with Mitch Ray. And the 5, Irish Luke, Blake Panuck. Tough field here, but I am going to go with the 5, Irish Luke. Big win last time. Had a 28-4 closing quarter and came charging back from 4th place to win this one. Just kind of just close. You know, the owner of this horse, surprisingly enough, says that this horse doesn't like to run out in front. So coming in fourth and coming in from the fifth spot, doesn't really give him a chance to leave on this half mile fair track. It's only 6 wide. He's coming from the far outside. He's going to have to tuck in, find some space. He did finish from start from post position 5 last week. So I can expect that horse to do it the same way. For second, I'm going to go with Prince Shadow, just one inside. Finished third last time in 2:04. I think Mitch Ray tied for second in wins and drivers. So I think he's going to put this horse in a good position to close late. Not an easy one to pick, though. But for third, I'm going to go with the 3, Fall Out Girl. Hasn't shown much this year, this mare, 4-year-old mare. Fourth place and a fifth place. I really liked her stuff last year. And but she's just hasn't quite gotten quite right yet, but I think as this year goes on, she will be there for it. So for race 1, 5, 4, 3, and if you want to play the early daily double, I'm going to take the 4 and the 5, and I'll pair them up with the 1, 2 in race number 2. But who is that number 1 and 2 and the rest of the field? Here is race number 2. Non-winners of 2 Fillies mares, 3 races lifetime, and again another little conditional sprinkled in there. Started from the inside, Louis Magui, 8-5 with Mark morning line odds with Mark Filion. The 2 though, 3-5 handcuffed with Blake Pinnock. The 3 Sky's Little Spunk with Richard Remillard. 4 Marv the Rat, Corey Manning, and 5 Baby Badger with Kevin Hildebrandt. I'm going to take the 2 handcuffed. Hard to go against a 3-5 favorite. Morning line odds finished 2 minutes and 4 last time out. Definitely a tough one to beat. Comes out of the 2-hole. Has been lucky, though. Has gotten the rail both times, but 2-hole is not that bad. For second, though, I'm going to go with the other horse, Louis Magui. Just qualified last week in 2:07 and some change. I think I like Louis Magui. He was racing at Century Downs as well. Handcuffed was as well, but so was Louis Magui. So these horses are coming off from Century Downs now to the half-mile track in Miami. So I think these 2 will be the ones to beat. Pretty hard for third again between the rest. Could go Baby Badger, Marv the Rat, 11-year-old gelding. Hard to go against him, but I'm going to go with the 4-year-old mare, Sky's Little Spunk, to round out my triactor. But like I said, the early daily double 4-5 in race 1, 1-2 in race number 2. Race 3. Going to kick off the first pick 3 of the day, a field of 5, which I'll tell you my pick 3 in a second. But first, let's go through the field. Colonel Kelly and Clayton Braybrook gets the rail. Don't Rock the Boat and Kevin Hildebrandt is the 2. 3, Ivar. Trevor Williams is scheduled to drive. It's potentially his first drive of the year, who we just talked to. 4, Buddy Light with Michelle Ray. And the 5, Tough as Buff, Blake Pinnock. So I'm going to take Tough as Buff. 2 straight wins from coming in from Calgary. Real hard to go against this horse. Really loved how he ran last time. Sat fourth almost the whole race and came in to win late. So Tough as Buff is my choice. And I'm going to single him in the pick 3. There's my pick 3 up there on the board now. For second, though, I am going to go with the 3, Ivar. I think the Trevor Williams stable will get the exactor here. 2:01 last time out. Slightly dropping in condition, though. He was in the $12,000 claimer last time. Now he comes into the $7,500 claimer. Slightly different condition. Little bit easier. Like I said, he got fourth in the 2:01 and change, where Tough as Buff won in that time last week. So I think these 2 will connect up. Interesting to see what trainer Trevor Williams does now in the bike. Third, tough one for third again. These races are tough. I'm going to go with Buddy Light and Michelle Ray. I got to give the slight edge to Ricky Ray, trainer, and Mitch Ray, who are kind of, the second driver right currently and the second trainer currently in stats. So I'm kind of going to lean that way. But Colonel Kelly and Don't Rock the Boat can definitely win anytime. And here's my pick 3. Single the 5. I apologize. Single the 5. Next race, I'm going to go 3, 4, 5. And in the last race, I'm going to single the 1. But we'll see how I get there. So now race 4. Claiming 7,500, another one. We got the inside Tammy Blue with Clayton Braybrook. The 2, I'm a Mama's Boy, Mark Filion. 3, 2-10 with Blake Pinnock. The 4, Crazy, Richard Remillard. And the 5, Julio Get the Stretch with Michelle Ray. And again, I'm going to go with the 5. I like the 5. Julio gets the stretch. Morning line odds of 8-5 with Michelle Ray. He's going to have it tough, though. It's not going to be an easy race, and that's why I put all 3 in my pick 3. I just like how this horse has been looking. What dropped from the open to non-winners now into claiming with some claimers. So I think he'll fit in well with this group. But for second, I'm going to go with the former track record holder, Gray Z. Had 205 in some time in the first race coming to Miami, 201 last time out. Really looking good. Gets Richard Remillard, probably the most experienced driver we have right now in Manitoba. So, I think those two will hook up, but you got to watch out for the 3, 2-10, making his first start here in Miami this year, just coming from Calgary at Century Downs. Like Canuck teams up, Trevor Williams trained. I think this one will be interesting. Interesting choice here. I always want to know what goes in the decision making between drivers because Trevor Williams trains the 2-10 and Gray Z. So I guess it's a Blake's choice here. Takes the 2-10 and Richard Remillard jumps on Gray Z. Richard Remillard's had some good experience so far this year. Anyway, and as shown with this horse Gray Z in the last couple of weeks, that he can put him in a good spot. So again, 5, 4, 3 in race 5. Race 5 in my pick 3. I took the 1, soloed the 1. AK Black Badger with Kevin Hildebrandt, and I'll tell you why in 1 second, but let's get through the rest of the field. The 2, Shirley Scooter with Corey Manning. 3, Mrs. Little Bozo with Mark Filion. 4, Tana with Clayton Burrbrook. I mispronounced her last week, but I got a good little lesson on that. It's Tana. And the 5, Paperback Princess with Daryl Mason. Another field of 5 maidens, non-winners of $1,500 lifetime. Maidens draw the inside. I like AK Black Badger. Just finished second last week to Irish Luke, who we talked about a little bit earlier today. He definitely a horse that I think has some promise here. So losing to him can't be that bad. So I think AK Black Badger finally gets that maiden tag off of her on Saturday. So much so that I single her. But, for this race for second, I'm going to go with Paperback Princess from the outside. Finished third last time, in 208 and 2. I think this horse will shave some time off. She'll have to. I can't imagine AK Black Badger going much slower than 203. But I do think it's going to be between Paperback Princess 5 and the 3, Mrs. Little Bozo. These two have similar times, while the other two seem a little bit slower. So I'm going to go 1, 5, 3, 4 in race 5. And this also kicks off the pick 4, $1 pick 4. In the $1 pick 4, I do single the 1 as well. And up on the screen, there is my pick. 1 in the first leg, 1, 6 in the second, 1 in the third leg, and 3, 5 in the final leg of the pick 4. And I'll talk about it why as we move on to race 6. Non-winners of 8 or Phillies Mares 9 races lifetime. Also some claimer, 12,000 claimer slides in. Oriental Express looks to be the only Oriental Express and Tito Santana have the $12,000 claimer mark on them. And starting from the inside, Oriental Express with Richard Remillard. 2 is JD Scooter with Blake Vanek. 3, Apagatura with Clayton Braybrook. 4, Two Shoes, Mark Filion. 5, Amy Hanover, Daryl Mason. And the 6th, Tito Santana with Michelle Ray. And in this one, I'm going to go with the 6th, Tito Santana. Won last week, 2 minutes and 1, 29 and 2 closing quarter. And if you don't know already, Tito is my favorite horse of all time. So I have to take him. And for second, and I even threw him in my pick 5, I picked her in my pick 5, Oriental Express, the mare. Came third last time, just behind Tito and Tagoras, who doesn't draw into this one. I think Tagoras is in the open later. We'll talk about him a little bit. So I like Oriental Express and that one. And I'm not confident enough in Tito to single him because Oriental Express and Richard Remillard have looked good this year. Again, kind of tough for third, but I did go with the 3, Apagatura. Finished 4th last time in his race, but 204 and 4. A week before that, went 2 minutes flat for second. Crazy monster times. Clayton is so close to breaking through this year with this horse. Had some long time off before these 2 starts. Raced in Edmonton at Century Mile just when the new year broke. Was kind of in and around top 5 here and there, but really has looked good coming back to Manitoba. Don't let that 4th discourage you. That was a tough race last time. And I think this 9-year-old gelding is super, super close and one you should watch out for at the Loop. So race 6, I got 6, 1, 3. Race 7 on to the third leg of the pick 4 and the first leg of the last pick 3, which the pick 4 is still up on the screen. And there is my final pick 3 pick. I got the singling the 1, 3, 5, 1. And of course, this is the third leg of the pick 4 as well. Here's the field of 5. AK Eagle with Kevin Hildebrandt. Irish Eve is the 2, a free-legged pacer with Corey Manning. Pixie Chick is the 3, Daryl Mason. Raising a Million with Michelle Ray is the 4, and Paula Mason comes in with her Inside Joke. Oh, this one's a tough one. Maidens are non-winners, but I did single AK Eagle. Last time went wire to wire in second place. I remember calling that race. There's not a lot of movement in that one, and some of these horses were in that race. Looks like a couple of them were, and they just all followed in a nice little line and didn't do much. And I think if AK Eagle can get the front this time, I think this race might go similar to that. I'm going to take AK Eagle. I'm going to single him, but for second, I like the 2 Irish Eve. Was also in that race last time. Finished third, just behind AK Eagle, and ultimately finished behind the winner, Emily's Choice. Just went third place, wire to wire. So I think these two, they're just going to follow each other out, and we'll see. But, a horse from the outside could make some noise, and one that I think could is the 4, Raising a Million. Last time in a different race, finished third after, going wire to wire in third place. So I think we'll, again, find a nice position. But if Mitch Ray can get the filly in a good spot, I think those 3 will make some noise. Don't count out the Masons, Daryl Mason on Pixie Chick or Paula Mason with Inside Joke. Inside Joke, it just seems like, again, he's just not quite ready or where he should be. But I know Paula is going to get him there, and they're going to get a win very soon for the 5-year-old gelding, the oldest in this race. Race 8, the Fillies and Mares Open, $4,500 up for grabs for the top 5 mares on the grounds. Here is the lineup. Outlaw Tootsie Roll with Mark Filion. The 2 is Treasure Horizon with Daryl Mason. 3, Pure Edition, Tyler Grundy. 4, Little Screamer, Mitch Ray. And the 5, I Will Do It, Blake Panuck. I Will Do It. I'm going to take on this one. And I said I take the 3 and the 5 in the pick 4 and the pick 3. And this is the 5. I'm going to take this one to win. Back-to-back wins, 159 and 1 last time out. Boom, just like that. Or it hit me, Sugar would say, with some of those quarter times at 29 and 2 closing quarter. Started the race pretty quick too. So I really like how this horse is looking. For second, Pure Edition and Tyler Grundy. One of probably the better mares that we've had in Manitoba as of late. Raced in California, put up some, was racing kind of in some top classes out there, doing pretty good, was getting jostled around, I believe. Everyone seemed to want her back in the hands of Arel Voden out of Verdun, Manitoba. Jackie Grundy will train. Tyler in the bike. 3, 5 is my picks in this one for the top 2. Have them in the pick 4. Have them in the final pick 3. But to round it out, I will take the 1. Outlaw Tootsie Roll looked really good last time in the Open. 150 and 1 was her time last week in this one. Finished second, just lost out to I Will Do It. And I beat out Pure Edition. I can't have a tough time thinking Pure Edition is going to finish third twice in a row. So that's why I went with Pure Edition and I Will Do It. But Outlaw Tootsie Roll might be one you want to add in that pick 4 or pick 3. On to race 9. Don Ware's a 4, Fillies and Mares 5 races and some other little conditions in there. Field of 5, Sonalta Duramax is the 1 with Blake Panuck. The 2, Go On Bobo with Mark Filion. 3, Irish Melvin, Corey Manning. 4, Sassy Libby, Tyler Grundy. And the 5, Irish Gene, Clayton Braybrook. Try announcing that. Irish Melvin and Irish Gene. They've been locked up a couple times in races here so far at Miami. It's a tough one to announce, but that's okay. I'm a pro. I'll take the 1, Sonalta Duramax with Blake Panuck. One last time, 202 and 3. Stuck by late. Matty Howlett trains. He's having a good time. He's had a good start to this year with a couple entries that he has, and I like Sonalta Duramax and gets the rail. super important at the fair track. For second, I'm going to go with Go On Bobo. Mark Filion looking good. 2 minutes and 1. Finished third last time. Some solid times at Miami Fair this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a bunch around 2 minutes or less. And for third, going to go with the 4. Sassy Libby, 159 and 4 last time. Finished second behind 2 shoes. Real tough to think this one's, this one was tough. This one was really tough. I just think Sanalta Duramax is the one to beat, even though with those times. But we'll see if Sassy Libby can keep that high level of time up. For the final daily double, I did single the 1, and I did single the 1 in the last leg of the pick 3. So on to the finale, race 10. Horse and Geldings Open. Post 5 is assigned. As you see, Keystone Tenacious gets that one. We talked about him a little bit with Trevor. But here's the full field. Tagoras, like I mentioned earlier, looking pretty good with Clayton Braybrooke on the inside. The 2, Senga Savannah, Tyler Grundy teams up. 3, Litazor, another Matthew Howlett entry with Mark Filion on the bike. The 4, Chaz Michael with Richard Remillard. And the 5, Keystone Tenacious, Blake Panuck. I got to go with the 5. 157 and 1. And I don't think that's a typo. Is that 20 lengths? It might say in the program. Some big number and a fraction there. 28 and 2 final quarter, 157 and 1 second off the track record. Ooh, and the track got fast. That was 2 weeks ago. The track got even faster last week. So if we have good conditions like the weather says, I think it says something around 23, slight chance of rain in the morning. Might not be bad for that track. It's a pretty dry track. So I could see I'm going to put up there track record alert with this one. And he's got a full field of 4 horses that could make that difficult for him. But I'm going to go with the 5. I have him singled in my daily double. But for second, I'm going to go with the 1, Tagoras. I like what Clayton's been doing this year. This horse just finished second to Tito Santana. Just lost to Tito Santana last week. So close, 2 minutes and 1/5 for this horse. Clayton, man, is just a guy. He just always finishes second. And he's going to break through. He's going to have a day. He always has a day or two where he breaks through. And he's been doing very well in driver standings. Yet to get a win, but he's sitting 7th in earnings, and he's not far behind them. So I think that you got to keep an eye on Tagoras, and I believe that's my girlfriend's favorite horse just because she really likes the name. But for third, to wrap up this one, I'm going to go with the 3, Litazor. Like what Matty Howlett's been doing in the barn. Mark Filion gets to drive this one. 2 minutes and 1 last time out as well, which matches the same time Tagoras had. So I think these two are going to have a big battle for second. Don't count out Senga Savannah, though. 204 or 201 and 4 last time. Chaz Michael, 2 minutes and 2. That's why I say gotta keep an eye on the track record on this one. Even the horse, probably the 5th favorite horse, which according to morning line odds is Chaz Michael at 5-1. Paces pretty consistently at 2 minutes, or got 2 minutes after having a 2 minute and 13 last time. Got that huge lead down by 13 seconds. So I really think Chaz Michael could potentially push. Litazor could push. Senga Savannah could push this time. Tagoras can definitely push this time. And we want to see Keystone Tenacious coming from the 5 hole, but did pace 151 and 2 in February at Cal X. Now that is a mild track, but 151 and 2, that's not too far off. 149 and 2, which is the best time now in Western Canada. So we'll see what this horse can do on Saturday. And that is my full preview. Wow, went through that. Great. Thank you for joining me. We went through the Adios final and the Adiovola earlier today. Thank you for Trevor for joining me today. It's been a blast. And of course, thank you for listening to my picks. We'll be back tomorrow on Saturday where I'll have my more normal show. We'll go over Hambo eliminations, Hambo Oaks eliminations, Battle of Waterloo eliminations, Battle of the Bells. That's all previewing that. Of course, we'll have the normal recap of all the Sire Stakes action that went down Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll go down tonight. And after that, we'll be back on Wednesday next week. Saturday will be 11 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. But before we go, remember, check out HarnessBid, our sponsor of today's episode. If you want, HarnessBid, commission free. Why not? Visit HarnessBid for more information and to get started. On behalf of Ace Behind the Scenes, everyone at Harness Link, and myself, Trey Colbeck, take care. Bye-bye.